What is going on, everybody? Happy last day of July. This is Starchwreck Props here with you again for another Things and Stuff review, the show where we review things and stuff. And today we're going to take a look at the new Starcraft's 1/1000 scale USS Ares from the Axanar fan film. If you're not familiar with Axanar, I highly recommend you go check it out. They did a prequel video movie thing to their whole web series that they're going to do called Prelude to Axanar, and it's really cool, really well done. It has a lot of science fiction actors that we all know and love. Richard Hatch, Tony Todd, Ellen Ty, Kate Vernon, that's her name, and some others. So they're probably going to have more in their series, so that'll be pretty cool. I know they have a Kickstarter, or not Kickstarter, Indiegogo I think it is. They have a funding campaign going on right now, so and they got some really cool prizes, or not prizes, but member rewards, I guess, or donation rewards and stuff like that, so definitely go check them out. But today, like I said, we got the Ares, custom designed ship just for the series based off the Centaur class with a little bit of Reliant and a little bit of Akira and other stuff thrown in there, but this is pretty cool, so let's check it out. So first you get this nice little card thing, box art, whatever you want to call it. And one thing I want to point out, I've already had a look at it, but this isn't a horrible detriment, but it's a sign that I was somewhat disappointed with. See that streak line there? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But we get some very nice instructions. We'll get to those in a second. And nice rendering of the ship. Shows all the decals again, decal placement, color codes. And there's the assembly instructions. And this kit is hollow for lighting, which is pretty cool, and comes with clear parts. And finally, the color chart, where they have it in the Pantone, Federal Standard, Model Master, Tamiya, and Testers, which is pretty cool. And more views. So that's the instructions. Interesting, this kind of fading effect, which we'll also go into, something we'll be talking about. All right, and then we've got the decal sheet, which is pretty nice. It's got all the markings. These look really cool underneath the nacelle clear caps, and we'll take a look at those. One kind of issue we're looking at is right here, where there's been some printer malfunction. Actually, all of the whole surface is kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, if I can get it to glare, but it's kind of mottled for some reason. Mottled, not modeled, which is bizarre. I don't know if that's a printing problem. Hopefully they'll turn out okay. I guess that doesn't cover it too much, but that's one of the things I was discussing with this like line and stuff. I also got the full Aztecing decals, and we'll take a look at those. Anyway, but here's the ship. The ship looks glorious. Lots of detail. It is in two halves, the main hull, and if you look inside you can see the 3D print striations if you look really carefully. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but so the ship was all 3D engineered and everything, which is really cool. The outside is perfectly smooth, so they really took the time to detail it and make it nice. You will need to light block some of it. You could theoretically not have to light block some of these areas, but the areas where there's little cuts for lights definitely shone through when I put the flashlight on them, but it's all kind of a standard thing when you're lighting ships anyway. It's pretty small in there. I'm going to put that, if you can kind of see, there's not too much room. I mean, you got this secondary hull, whatever you want to call it, space in there. You can kind of fit some stuff in there, but it'll be a kind of a tight fit. But I guess no more really a tight fit than the Polar Lights TOS Enterprise or the Refit Enterprise. So worst comes to worst, you could always put the board inside the base. I'm going to see if I can get one that's small enough to fit in the ship, just so there's not a billion wires coming up here. So yeah, pretty cool. Like I said, nice detail. You get this awesome USS Ares base with the ship patch cast in resin. There's some bubbles on it, but it's not too bad. Oh, I should say on this there is some flash and stuff like that, but it is not bad. It would take 2 minutes with a file and some sandpaper, and you can get that. The only minor concern is the saucer fit. The lower one seems to jet out just slightly, have an underbite or an overbite, underbite from the top of the saucer, but I bet with some hot water or a heat gun or something, it could be warped back into the position, because I'm sure if it's perfectly flat or how it's supposed to be, it probably lines up correctly. It's probably just a little warped. So hopefully that shouldn't be too bad. And as you noticed, there's a key and hole system, so it locks together, which is pretty cool. All right. And then in this bag, we have all the extra parts. So let's see, we get our clear impulse engines, which is awesome. And it has the impulse grills on the inside, and then there's still a outside housing for the impulse engine, so you'll have to mask those off, or the inside off, and then still paint the outside. We've got our deflector dish, which comes in 2 parts. You've got a base and then the clear piece, which will be definitely fun for lighting. So I'll probably have to drill a hole through that. And it looks like on the ship that the inside of the dish glows, but then the outside frame is TOS copper. So that'll be interesting, and the LED through there. Then we've got the pylons. Actually, we'll talk about those in a second. The nacelle caps, which are really cool. A lot of detail, nice ribbing detail, and they have a nice fit system, so everything's aligned properly. Here's the Bussard caps. There's a couple bubbles in the bottom, which at first I was like, that's unfortunate. But when you put them on these, they have this cool lensing effect. I don't know, let's see if we can see this. Get out of here. So we've got this, and you put this guy over. Ah, that looks so cool. That looks awesome. And you don't really notice the bubbles at all, so it probably won't be too much of an issue, and it looks like other particles around. Actually, I don't even really see them. There's a little nub on here that just needs to be sanded off, but that's not too bad. But, oh, that's so cool. That's such a cool effect. And, of course, the pylons. The pylons fit a certain way based on these, I don't know if we can see them, little tiny rectangles. Those go facing back. The problem, not really a problem, but the complication, I guess, with these is they are one piece and they're not hollow. So lighting with these could be tricky. On somebody's blog, I saw they completely re-scratch built them, so that's an option. If you're really, really good with a tiny drill bit, you could probably get a tube all the way down through it. You could also make a channel in there somewhere and then run the wires and then fill the channel. On the sides, there's kind of an inset area, kind of like the refit, how it has those little black oval ovular shapes on the inside, those little inset areas. So that'll be one of the big challenges of the kit, I think, is trying to get these to pass electricity through them. So that is everything. No, it isn't. The nacelles, a very, very important part of the Starship, and they come in 2 halves, and they fit together extremely well. It's a little bit of a gap there, but nothing, a little bit of filler won't cure, something. Filler, put it on it, it'll be fine. There's that. And plenty of space to put in a very small circuit board, like the Tenna Controls 1/1000 scale TOS Enterprise Bussard collector things could probably fit in there really well. So that is that. So that's what comes with the main kit. You can order the main kit from the Starcraft's Models website, and priority shipping pretty fast, and very impressed. And like I said, this kit is just so cool. All the windows are in there, so those will be easy to drill out. All the little marker lights are sticking up, so those are easy to find and drill out and replace with probably fiber optics, I would imagine. That's what I'll have to use for that instead of just using canopy glue. You got your cool torpedo bays. There's a little, it's kind of uneven at the very back of them, so a little bit of drilling into it would be good. Cool, so that is the ship. It is pretty cool. Now let's check out the Aztecing decals, and they also come in a very nice package. Let's pull those out. And you've got a very nice decal placement guide that explains everything. And this second page. Now this is the like orthograph view we keep seeing on the internet. It's like the exact same thing, which brings me to these, which are basically seem to be, with a little color correction, the exact same just textures as this. I mean, these ones are a little brighter, but the reason I say that is because when you look at the saucer, if you look around the rim, you can see the side, and there's like the windows and stuff like that. So they basically lifted the textures exactly from the model, so you couldn't get any more accurate, which is pretty cool. The only two minor little nitpicking things, they're pretty good resolution. I mean, only when you get way up close. Actually, on the camera, they look pretty good. If you look just up close, they're just a teensy bit blurry. Not horrible. And they'll definitely need to be cut in sections for application. There's some, like this one is like a folder, so you'd place it on and fold it on, or you'd obviously cut it. But there's a lot that go over multiple surface details, so that'll be kind of a challenge. Now, hopefully we'll be able to see it, or not. That'd probably be a good thing. They're a little stripy. That's what I want to call it. I don't know if you could see, there's a big turquoise kind of stripe. So I don't know if the printer was running out of ink or what the deal was. So just a little bit disappointed with that, but maybe, hopefully it won't show. Hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. I just probably got an off copy, but that's okay. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. It's going to be awesome. One thing I would say is I would have preferred to not have the registries and stuff on there, just for if they have to be cut and they don't align exactly perfectly, then, you know, that way, you know, the C isn't slightly down or whatever. Hopefully, again, that shouldn't be a problem, but you never know. But overall, very good. Very good. I'm very excited. And you can't get any more accurate. These are the exact surface textures that are on the model. And there's the little torpedoes. Even the torpedoes have a tiny bit of weathering on them, as you can see. And it says to cut those out after you apply it to the ship. And I assume these are on clear. I guess they are, because you can kind of see through it a bit. I would assume these are on clear and not on white, but and then the challenge will be to match this hull color for the areas that aren't decaled or whatever. It can't be perfectly decaled, but so, and then basically you're getting everything on this that you are in this, so that's kind of nice. You have a backup just in case. So that is the Ares. What a cool ship. I am so excited. Let's piece her together real quick just to see what she looks like. And the part fit is just outstanding. Look at that. This fits right in there. Cool. All right, and here she is all snap fit together, shall we say. The parts fit is just that good, where you can just have it just like this. Oh, it's so cool. So cool. What a view. Look at that. Doesn't it just look so mean and aggressive? It just, oh, it's so cool. It's so smooth. So that is the Ares. Fun stuff. And I can't wait to start working on it. I'm trying to see what we can do about electronics, because what I'd really like to do is have the Bussard effect, and these have a lot more lights than a than the small TOS board that's currently available with 6 LEDs, so I want to try to find some convoluted mechanism to get that to look right, maybe some little tiny gels or something. So that'll be very exciting. So, but I'll definitely get started on light blocking, and I can do the hull lighting and drilling the holes and all that stuff. So it'll be pretty exciting, very excited. So now, just for a little update on other things that have been going on, let's take the Aries over here. Just some fun props that I've been working on. A couple months ago, on the board that does all the Star Trek props, somebody did a run of cage communicator grid mesh, which was awesome, and it's taken directly from the screen cap, so it's the exact number of holes, you know, this way and that way, which is really awesome. I think I definitely used a too small diameter rod in fixing it, but oh well. The internal parts aren't perfectly accurate anyway, so yeah, it's fine. But it turned out really well. Very excited, very excited. Even the belt clip works. It's pretty cool. What a fun prop. Then we've got this guy who's almost done. Definitely need to get electronics for it. It's a Nemesis Dolphin style phaser, a Stapleton kit. Now, my question is, so in the screen cap and then a couple auction photos, I've seen ones that look like heroes that have kind of a dark metallic gray button pad, but then there's stunts and other ones that are possibly heroes in auction, screen used ones that have black ones. So I don't know what the deal is. The Federation Surplus replica that I see that I really like also seems to have a dark metallic, so I don't know what the deal is. The ones in the locker look like they have black, if I recall correctly. I'll have to look at the screen cap when the lockers flip open and then there's a phaser and a rifle right next to it. But then when you've got the close-up of the guy walking, if you look at it closely, he's kind of holding it like this, you can see the grip, which is clearly black, but then this is a lot lighter, so I don't know. So I've debated with that question for many years, but decided to go with that on this one, and it looks pretty nice. So what an awesome kit too. You can find them on eBay. They're not horribly priced either. They're very reasonable for the quality you're getting, so check them out. And a holy grail prop of mine, this Mark 7 tricorder. I have to finish the 2 scanners. The paint job on this was done by the Stapleton himself, so it's immaculate and beautiful. And I added electronics, which I think it's the reed switch is a little jerky. Let's see if I can get it. There it goes. And also, I don't think I have a powerful enough battery because it only cycles through 3 things instead of the coming all the way up, so I'll have to get something better for that. But the cool thing about this, which is so awesome, is the little medical light comes on because it's wired to go into the little bullet catches and then up into here, and I hope to have the little circuit running there too, so that's pretty cool. The door light lights up. So yeah, definitely one of my favorites, and it has the little clip. A couple more things. What do we got here? Almost done with the Cobra part of the riot gun phaser, and such a bizarre take on it. Look at that angle. You're really pushing down on that one. But I don't have the graphic for this, and I had thought about lighting it someday, so I kept everything hollow. But I need to finish painting the button pad and then get the normal 16 bar that you'd put on a boomerang doesn't fit in here, so I'm going to find a smaller one. And even in the ones build-ups I've seen, they seem to be smaller squares, so I don't know if they used a graphic or if they used just smaller squared styrene, but oh well. So there's that guy. And refinished an old Roddenberry I had that I did a awful job on as an endgame phaser, and boy, these are a pain in the ass to mask, let me tell you. So I I did it, and then I had this all masked off, and I had a nice big paint lift right here, which was exciting. So I went back and fixed that. I got to touch up some of the black areas. And that semi-gloss doesn't look very good on there. I should have used a different one, but whatever. Anyway, ended up just hand painting those, and it looks okay. If you don't look at it in the gloss, it looks alright. So, very cool. Which is, of course, if you don't know, the Dolphin Phaser originally was like this for Endgame, the last episode of Voyager, and has the 16 setting square power meter and a black emitter and stuff like that, and then they redid them for Nemesis, which is this version. And last but not least, part of my ever-going quest to have a perfect landing party set for all the different landing parties. This is a Stapleton boomerang phaser that I've done some work to. I sanded off the panels and replaced them with plastic ones, just kind of like the original ones had. I'm doing this one in a Roddenberry, and that one they're a little farther apart. That looks a little more like the screen-used ones. This is just temporary. I had a clear one of these, and then I lost it in refinishing it, so I need to either attempt to cast one or get one from somebody, but it'll have lights and sounds and stuff like that. So, pretty cool. Very excited. Very excited. So that is what's been going on recently. Like I said, back to Axanar. Definitely go check them out. They have a Facebook page, YouTube channel. Go watch it. It's fun. And you can send them money or whatever. Or just watch it and enjoy it. And it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. It's an interesting take on Star Trek. And it's a cool kind of documentary style fashion. And they made a great ship. And they have a bunch of other ships that are made just for that show, and they're supposed to be making models of, and I'm really excited. So we'll check those out when they come out too. So anyway, thanks everybody. If you like this, subscribe. We're always coming up with fun, interesting things. And you can also check me out on Facebook as Starchwreck Models and Props. So thanks so much. Take care, and it is time to warp out of here and go to dry dock and build us a ship. That's what's happening.